There is some kind of thing that happens when people see a pregnant lady. Some kind of social filter that somehow falls away. Not only the social filter, but the personal space rules that we all pretty much abide by in the United States. Suddenly, complete strangers are rubbing your belly and asking things about your fertility and your private body parts. As a new, young, 24-year-old mom-to-be who is also an introvert, it was one of the strangest things I'd ever encountered. Little did I know that that was just the beginning for me in these kinds of experiences. My husband and I thought we might have 3 or 4 children, and although I've come to learn that I'm not the best author of my story, I had no idea that wasn't how our family would be created at all. I'm currently pregnant with our 10th child, and we're a big, loud, and sometimes a bit crazy bunch that are a beautiful, colorful display of God's creativity with our white, our brown, and our black skin. We have 3 sets of children that are the same age, and I've come to find out that multiples open up a whole other level of awkward, personal question asking. Please don't get me wrong. Although we've had our fair share of snark and rude, I know that most people are asking from genuine interest, curiosity, and goodness. But friends, can we just put that aside for a minute so I can share a little bit of the crazy with you? Last summer, we loaded up our big old van and made a cross-country road trip from Indiana to Oregon. On the way home, we stopped at Mount Rushmore. It was pretty late at night, but we didn't want to miss the opportunity, so everyone piled out, and the nighttime guard gave all the kids their Junior Ranger pins and showed us where to go. One other couple eventually followed us, and I could feel them watching us pretty intently, trying to figure it all out. I'm pretty used to the fact that we're hard to miss, but I have to admit, he had a question that I just hadn't heard before. After asking me to take a picture of him and his new wife, he leaned in close, and he said in a hushed tone, "Mormon or Catholic?" Having twin girls who are now 2.5, I've noticed this fascination with multiples, and I get it to an extent. They're amazing. I carried 2 babies in my body. I birthed them, and they have a special, unique bond that's so fun to watch. Yet suddenly, my fertility, sex life, and private body parts were open discussion in the produce aisle with random strangers. Were they conceived naturally? I don't normally talk about my sex life while chatting in the produce aisle. Awkward. No way, you can't nurse 2 babies. That's amazing, or that's crazy, depending on who was saying it that day. This was always when I was actually nursing the 2 babies. Normally at a park or a soccer game while their older siblings played. Yes, this person I've previously never met. I'm quite sure it is possible, as I now uncomfortably try to continue doing just that. But did you birth them naturally? Hold up. Are you asking me if my babies were cut out of my belly, or are we talking about if they came through my vaginal canal right now? The fact that we're a family with white, brown, and black skin adds another level of conspicuous to us. We've had a handful of rude and sensitive comments, but for the most part, any comments have been honest mix-ups. We're often asked if we're a school or a daycare. Or the innocence of children. Looking back and forth between my beautifully black-skinned son and me at the water park, his toddler eyes, his preschool eyes open wide, and he would ask me, "But did he come out of your belly?" And while it's nice to just be sometimes and not have all the questions, we do intentionally choose to celebrate our colors rather than being blind of them. And maybe that's what this is all about. What if we just celebrated the different ways of motherhood, whether one child, 10 children, or babies you hold in your heart but not in your arms? What if we celebrated how we became moms, whether that is by the way our country deems naturally or quite differently than most families? What if we celebrated that motherhood and families look different in a very literal and a figurative sense? What if we held back our questions for a moment, just appreciated that mom and that family right where they are? Because I guess that's my favorite. When my big, loud, colorful bunch walks into a new place and I see her eyes looking at us one by one. I see the questions in her eyes, but then her mouth curves upward and she just chooses to celebrate with words. Your family is beautiful. Despite the different journeys, hardships, celebrations, differences, and similarities in each of our motherhood journeys, I believe that this sure is beautiful.